Good morning. Dan Shelton, Commander, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. The purpose of this brief is in reference to a traffic crash that occurred on the 1400 block of Kings Road, sadly resulting in a death of a pedestrian. The off-duty officer was en route to work in his marked police vehicle, and apparently a black male, approximately in his mid-40s, entered the roadway and was struck by the vehicle. At that point, JFRD responded. Unfortunately, pronounced the pedestrian deceased at the scene. Additionally, District 5 personnel responded, established a perimeter, and then traffic homicide detectives were called out and are in process of conducting a detailed investigation of the incident. And that concludes my brief, unless you have any questions.
Are there any indications at this point of, the officer looking down at their phone, or was it just an incident? He jumped out in the street last night?
At this point, we don't have any of that information, sir. But we're looking into every possibility of what the cause of this, sadly, this traffic fatality.
What was the speed of the officer?
Presently, no airbags were deployed, as well as the EDR did not register anything. The speed limit on Kings Road is 30 miles an hour. So at this point, and again, our traffic homicide detectives, we're going to conduct some calculations and figure out the speed, but we don't think speed was a factor at all. So we think around that 30 mile an hour mark is what the officer was traveling.
And as far as being off duty, when he's just getting off duty, and how many hours?
Yeah, let me clarify. He was off duty on his way to work. So he had just woken up, took a shower, put his uniform on, and was heading into his roll call to start his day, not at the end of a shift.
And do you have an age range for the victim?
Yeah, we mid-40s is what we think. 43 to maybe 48.
Any indication of the person who was hit, where they was like, he was at their blind side or something?
The officer's vehicle, the damage is to the left front bumper. So he was in the inside lane going westbound. And that's when the officer contacted him. So that's what we have initially right now.
Any other protocols when something like this happens that your agency does or anything like that?
Protocols as in?
Other than the investigation and stuff like that?
We'll reach out to Streets and Highways also to make sure, that we have proper lighting. That's what our traffic homicide investigators will do. They will look at the ergonomic indicators, as well as, the totality of the situation, the environment, as well as the vehicle, as well as the pedestrian, and then put all that together. And if we find something that maybe needs to be corrected, maybe some signage, something like that, then that stuff will get passed on to traffic engineering, and then they'll come out and update that.
Was the pedestrian in a crosswalk or just walking in the street?
The pedestrian was just walking in the street, was not in a crosswalk.
And also, just like per JSO policy, I know it varies per situation. Is the officer on administrative leave, or is this a situation where that's not necessary?
At this time, the officer was a little shook up, so we're going to go ahead and put him on administrative leave, just so he can get some additional possible counseling and get him taken care of. Absolutely.
And just to finish off, if you could just kind of speak to the nature of, just how difficult incidences like these are, because obviously, it impacts the officer involved as well as the family.
Absolutely. It's a tough situation for both the family and the policeman. The policeman has now got to go home and sit there and try to, in his mind, hey, was there something I could do? How could this have been avoided? We're all human beings, whether we have a uniform on or not, and these have a serious impact on us as well as the citizens. So, it has a devastating impact on us for sure.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you.
Thank you.